Welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today we're going to be trying to recreate this house in The Sims 4. I was browsing recent real estate listings and I saw this house and I just thought this looks perfect for chucking into Gibby Point. It also has a few surprises in it which we'll get into as we get through the video. But first, thank you so much Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Disney Dreamlight Valley is such a calm and cozy game where you can hang out with your favorite Disney and Pixar characters, and I personally just spent hours and hours decorating and customizing my valley. A brand new free update has dropped today, and that marks 21 major content updates for the game since its release. And through those, they've added brand new characters, biomes, quality of life improvements, and so much more. I think my favorite one was the Laugh Floor, where we got to visit Monsters Incorporated and meet Mike and Sully. This is one of my favorite places. Speaking of updates, today Puppy Love dropped, where we get to reunite Lady with Tramp. And once they move into the valley, they have the cutest Edwardian inspired house. And you'll be able to do their friendship quest to unlock even more furniture to decorate your own house with. The star path coming in this update brings outfits from Disney's Lady and the Tramp and Disney's The Great Mouse Detective, plus you'll even be able to get Tony's restaurant. There's also new evolving items that unlock new cosmetic styles as you level them up. My favorite feature of any update though is for sure decorating updates. And this one is big. We'll be able to select multiple items at once to move them around, rotate. You can even save decoration presets so you can decorate an area, save that, swap out all of that stuff easily with other saved presets so you can swap in and out decorated areas easier than we've ever been able to do before. They've also added search and filtering to crafting and uncrafting stations, so it's easier than ever to actually make what you want. That's not all that's coming in the update, so make sure to scan that QR code on screen now or click the link down below to learn more. Disney Dreamlight Valley is also on sale right now on most storefronts, so now is a perfect time to jump in if you haven't already. Thanks again Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Let's go ahead and get back to it. So we're going to be starting off this build video with a good old school speed build, though it is going to be a little bit slower than what we used to do back in the day. This is only at 2 times speed, then with some editing as well, where I've cut out parts where I'm trying to figure out what to do or making decisions, just so we can kind of see the build coming together and you can kind of see how I'm actually doing it, rather than back in the day when we used to do speed builds, it was so quick. I don't know how anybody watched them, to be honest. I saw Deli do this recently with one of our builds where she's doing like a sort of a speed build portion, but it's relatively slow so you can still keep track of what's going on. And I really like that idea. So I thought we'd try it out in this video. So the first part of this video, basically the exterior and the landscaping is going to be this sort of speed build time lapse. And then the second half, we're going to get into furnishing, layout, and all that kind of stuff, more real time like we've been doing as well. So you can sort of get my thought process through all that. But I figured this is actually a good way to do it for this build because I am trying to recreate a lot of this actual house in The Sims 4. Which there's parts of it that are easy and other parts that are a little bit more difficult. And you can't always translate something from the real world to The Sims one-to-one. There's usually a lot of things that don't work that way. So I thought this was a good way to start off the video because it lets me sort of play around in build mode, figure out how it's all gonna work, and then also, you know, just cut out the half an hour of me trying something, it not working, and then we get to see it sort of all come together in a relatively quick manner. I often use real houses for builds in The Sims 4 for inspiration. Like I'll find the picture of a facade of a house and then I'll sort of make up the rest of it, the interior, the rest of the exterior, all that kind of stuff. I often find real houses are a great starting point to get building in The Sims 4, especially if you don't really know where to even begin. Usually starting something is the hardest. Once you get going, it kind of just flows out. And if you need any more like help or anything along the way, if you're basing it on a real house, especially a real estate listing, there's usually a lot more photos, floor plans even, so that can help too. But in this case, I did actually use the floor plan as well, because typically when I'm doing sort of a house inspired by a real one, I just kind of use the front facade. But this one I did use the floor plan. However, when I was doing the floor plan, I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. I'll link the actual house down below, so if you want to go check it out, it's pretty eccentric in the best possible way. It's amazing, but it's like I didn't want to do the interior in this house, so I don't think we're going to follow the floor plan one-to-one. Especially because they have a crazy dance room that's like in this huge octagonal building. It's really cool, but we're not doing the big dance room on this build just because I don't really know what we'd use it for in The Sims. They don't, like, I guess we could do a dance floor in there, but I didn't really want to add that to this house. So I figured we'll leave that out. We're using the floor plan as the sort of general shape of the house, and then we're sort of doing the interior ourselves and sort of figuring it out from there. But yeah, so at the moment, we've just been working through the roof, trying to get the shape. The house has dormers in it like this and definitely has like some attic spaces. However, we're not really going to be using the attic space at all because it's kind of difficult at the best of times to create a functional attic in The Sims 4. And this space up here is just not big enough. I guess we could put like ladders to get into them. But there's just not that much room. So these are purely decorative, all 4 of these on the roof up here. I do end up building a garage, which we'll see in a minute. And that does have an attic space that we will use. So that one's a bit bigger, but for this house portion, it's purely just decorative to make the roof more interesting, because if we didn't have the dormers up here, we'd just end up having this huge roof with not a lot of detail on it. And that's actually something that's really interesting, is when you're trying to build something based off a real house, a lot of the small intricate details you just can't do. So you sort of have to come up with different ways to add detail to the build itself. Now this is also really cool in the real house as well. This is like an enclosed cat porch. So they have a full screened in porch in the real house. And in the photos, you can see their 2 cats just hanging out there. It's so cute. So I wanted to do that here as well. So I've built it on the side of the house here. It's gonna be screened in. Obviously in The Sims, we can't do a sort of fly screen on the roof there. So I've just used a little low fence there and we're gonna pretend it's screened in. But we're gonna do like a cat tree and stuff in there, which will be a lot of fun. Yeah, so this is kind of a much older style house. So we got the tin roof, we got the sort of wood siding on the house, and just a nice big porch all the way around it. So we're just going through, doing the colors, adding the details, and trying to get it all to have that level of detail that makes it look interesting. Because now that we got the shape, it's basically adding layers and layers of detail, whether it be columns, the spandrel there you can see, just the wall trims as well on that wallpaper where we had the like sort of white trims on each of the corners. All those little bits and pieces make it look a lot more interesting than if it's just a big flat wall. And actually, the porch around the house, like I know that's in the real house, but that is something I would typically do, and I think I did that recently actually in maybe my last build, where the big flat wall looks really not unappealing, but if you just put a porch around one of the levels, it breaks it up and makes it look much more interesting. So that's a good little tip. Just if you got a big rectangle, sometimes just adding a porch or a roof will help out a lot. Anyway, so now we're moving on to the windows, and I'm just sort of, it was kind of, I think it's semi-based off the house here, but we start deviating more and more as we get deeper into the Sims itself, and you know, there's only so much we can do in Sims, and there's only so many items that look like the real house. We just start taking creative liberties and doing our own thing. And I don't show any of me doing the floor plan in this house because I did, like I said, base it off the original floor plan. You can see there's some of it going on there. I actually just removed some of it in that cut. There's some of the floor plan going on, but it is, the real house looks like it's over the years, has been renovated, rooms added, things changed. So the layout is basically, it's kind of crazy. And I didn't really want to do that in The Sims. So we're not doing that. But we are taking inspiration from it. So this section here where I'm doing these windows is actually like supposed to be a screened in porch area. So that's why I'm actually adding the wall there. So that interior wall that you see that I just built is supposed to be like the actual house. And where I've got the windows was going to be like a screened in porch. But I actually end up changing that just because it creates a really awkward space on the inside. And I think that is something, like when you're recreating real houses in The Sims, you really gotta know what to try and copy and know what to change and make more functional for The Sims itself. So over here, I wanted to do the garage because I have like a little garage shed area. This does not look like theirs. I don't think, no, theirs is quite a different design. Similar, like the placement and all that is inspired by the real one, but it's totally different because I just made it in Sims and did what I could. So we've got an open garage door and a closed one just because I figured a little bit more interesting than 2 flat garage doors. And then I'm copying over the dormers from the rest of the house onto here. And it's about at this point where I realized that we could make the dormers on this building actually functional because this building is a little bit wider. So you can see I can add a 3 wide section in the middle. On the main house, I think it's only 2 wide. So it would create a really awkward space. So I haven't decided what we're actually going to do in that space yet. I mean, maybe just decorative storage or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get into the furnishing portion. But yeah, so to do this, we're gonna use all these roofs in separate little sections. I thought this would be good to keep in the video because it kind of shows you how you can make this more functional. If we just did it as one big roof piece, it gets in your way, but a 3 deep sort of roof sloping upward is the same height as a regular wall, so it's very easy to get it to fit in and all like look like one roof piece if you got the exact right dimensions and all that. So that means we can have that usable attic space. And then I'm just adding a couple windows to this build just so it's not a big block. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what the heck we're gonna do in there. Probably do like a workshop, like wood and like furniture and crafting and that kind of stuff. I don't know exactly how it's going to come together, but we'll figure it out. All right, so we're starting the landscaping now. So this landscaping portion, I'm going to, show you the basic, terrain painting I got here, and we'll see a bunch of the landscaping, but there is a lot of it I cut out because it's just placing the same bush about 500 times, but it does all come together. So the original house, or not even original house, the real house is what I should say, has this fountain in the middle of the driveway there. And I put that one down because it's about the size I wanted, but I later realized that that fountain is way too like fancy and big. It doesn't really fit. This is much more like a farmhouse sort of vibe to it. So we changed it out later. But yeah, so here we are. I'm using a lot of actual debug bushes and trees as well, so we can get some bigger ones, some more variety. I didn't want a huge amount of like flowers and color in that sense. I do like all the flowers and stuff, and we do a lot of lavender around, but I didn't really want it to look like there was a whole bunch of flowers that were planted and like manicured and all that. I wanted it to look a little bit more wild, a little bit more just like green shrubs, ferns, that kind of thing. So that's mostly what the landscaping is, but there is of course some flowers and stuff around the place. So as you can see just there, I actually used the original fountain to place moss in the size of that fountain. So we still get the same size of the fountain while using that smaller fountain element, which I thought was a pretty good idea and worked pretty well. And then I wanted to just do like a little sort of entrance here, even though I don't know that Sims are even going to walk through this part, because I'll probably just walk through the big gap on the left, because I think they spawn more in the center of the lot. But I wanted a nice little driveway entrance, so I'm using the horse ranch fence, which I think fits really well there. Gave it a bit of an angle just so it wasn't a flat edge, and I think it looked pretty good. Now, something I did quite a bit on this house for landscaping is using different levels. So just there, I actually put down a floor piece with foundation, so we can have flooring, in this case the bricks, go off to a vertical edge and we can put steps going down. And I'm using this little fence right now just to trace out where I want the path, and then I'm getting rid of it because that was basically just so I knew what shape I wanted to build. It's easier to trace a line with a fence than trying to put floor tiles down. And you can see here sort of what I'm doing. I use that flooring so I get that flat edge, and then we can grab stairs and we can have stairs on it. Rather than having, a slope and having to use terrain paint, we can use those brick floor tiles, but still have steps in there. Because I think sometimes having steps around the place gives it a little bit more verticality than just a sloping hill. Or we do have hills around the place, and we do have terrain paint. In this case, we're gonna do like a little path on the side there. But with that trick of the foundation and putting stairs on the edge, it means you can sort of smoothly blend the flat floor tiles in the ground to nice steps going down to another level. Again, even with floor tiles, because if you don't do it with a platform edge or like a foundation edge, it means you can't do steps that are less than 4 steps high. So we can do like 2 steps, 1 step. It works a little bit better. Now, being on a 64 by 64 lot means we have a huge garden space. So we're doing a dedicated veggie garden here. I'm just doing 6 planter boxes, and then I thought it'd be nice to have like a little garden shed, which is what that wall is gonna be in a moment. And I was gonna put the big butterfly, I guess, collection display in this area, but it kind of, as you can see, takes up a little bit more space than I wanted it to. We will use that, but it's gonna be somewhere else later on. So yeah, I wanted this to be a dedicated space. Because we've got the garden, we really need to start designing spaces that are individual. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I did the retirement home build, that had a huge property as well. And all the landscaping was about dividing the spaces, but also making it feel like one big garden. So while we got the veggie boxes there, I think right now it kind of doesn't feel like it is there, but it kind of just feels like it's plonked down. So what we end up doing is actually putting a fence around it, making it a sort of designated zone. Like it feels like it is designed and intentional rather than just placed. At least that's how I perceive it once we sort of fence it in and decorate it that way. Because I think if I left it like this, I think it still looks good, but I think the added sort of structure to it makes it feel better. Especially if you had like, I don't think I'm gonna add chickens or anything. I haven't yet, but if you had like chickens or anything like that, it would be good to also have the fenced in area because then they could, go around to all the plants, and I think they turn them into like higher quality plants, right? If I remember from our cottage living Let's Play. But anyway, we got the little fence, and then we're basically just putting plants along it because I don't want the fence fully visible. I would love if we just had like a chicken wire fence or like a mesh fence, kind of like we're using in this screened-in porch, but that doesn't exist. So I kind of just covered that in plants was my idea. Now, this is the screened-in cat porch where I was like, maybe the butterflies can go there. No. Doesn't quite fit. But yeah, this is, if you do go look at the real house, which again, I'll link down below, this is very much obviously inspired by the layout of it. I don't think they have a cat tree or anything like that in there. I put this in here for gameplay reasons, but they have this little sort of circular area in here. They actually have, I think, a tree maybe in the middle or off to the side somewhere. I tried a few different trees. It didn't really work out, but we just do a lot of vines and plants and all that. And I think I also do a litter box as well. I just did a normal one because the laser one for gameplay I much prefer, but I don't think it really fits this beautiful like vined and not overgrown, but like sort of little interior garden space. So I guess the idea is you would have the doors on this locked to not allow cats to leave, but obviously from the house they can come in here, which is pretty cool. Like you do like a little pet door and all that. On the roof here, we're using these sort of moss pieces and all the little greenery to have it growing over the roof. So you get that sort of lighting and shade on the inside. And then in there as well, we got like a little bench and a little dining area. So you could go in there, have like a little cup of tea or something. It's a really cute little garden space. And I really love it. Like I love the real one so much that was part of the reason I wanted to build this house as well, is just this little addition to a house. Like I've never done this on a house except for the previous build where we did a screened in porch that also happened to have a cat tree in it, which was because I was already building this house when I did that video, and it just kind of ended up that way. I was like, oh, we could do cat stuff in there because I really like this idea. I think it's super cute. So yeah, this is the little sort of screened-in area there. The cats have a couple of the logs that they can scratch on, and of course the cat tree. There's no food bowls in here, but I think we'll do that more near the house area. Now this section, I really had the vision of having a pond that you can swim in. Rather than just a pool, I wanted it to be like a natural pond, like a little lake or something you go swimming in. And of course, Sims can't actually swim in the ponds, so we had to build a pool that's kind of attached to the pond. And I recently saw one of my YouTube members, they did a build for the bluffs in Windenburg where they sort of blended the pond tool and pools together. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I started doing that, but then my game froze, it locked up, and it had that same bug, which if you've been watching my Three Sisters Let's Play, where it just, the whole game bugs out. Like this is how far I got. I thought it was starting to look really good. I was gonna start doing waterfalls. The game froze, so we had to pivot. So this is what I ended up doing instead. It's just one pool rather than having the pond attached as well. Because yeah, like I said, unfortunately it just froze up and didn't work. And this is where we're at with the landscaping as well. Like I said, I cut out most of that from the time-lapse portion, but you can see more of it here. Got a couple cars parked around the place. But yeah, I think all in all, it's coming together really well. I'm super excited. I had fun with the deck area at the back here as well. We got sort of playing with levels. That same trick I was talking about doing with the stairs over here, using this extra bit of foundation, I did here with the deck so that we could have multiple levels of decking here to make it look more interesting than one big flat space. But it's time to actually get started on the inside. So this is your first look at the layout. This is based on the original house, but of course we have to make it work in Sims, and the scale is going to be different than the real house. I think this actually might be bigger than the real house, to be honest. I'm not sure. But what we're going to do, we've got obviously a sitting room here. This is just going to be like a formal sort of sitting room, bookcases, coffee table around the fireplace, lovely. And then back through here is the kitchen and dining space. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be working yet, but we got the main kitchen area here, which looks out over to the veggie garden, which I thought was really cute. I do kind of wish we had a door that was easier to get out there. I wonder if we could add one in. Because we have a door to the screened-in porch over this way. But the quickest way to get over there, I guess, is to walk out this door and then around, which is not too bad, but it's not super close. Anyway, off the kitchen area, we've got another living room. This is going to be, I guess, our room with a TV, maybe toys for the kids, that kind of stuff. Then this will be our main downstairs bathroom. We have a couple of bedrooms here and another bedroom here with its own ensuite as well. So kind of think like guest room area. And then coming up the stairs here, We've got another 2 bedrooms just here, so pretty good sizes. A bathroom for those 2 bedrooms. And then this is going to be like the main bedroom area. This is kind of like going to be the entrance. We'll probably open that up and all that. And then this will be like an ensuite bathroom, etc. That's that space in there. And that's kind of the main house. And then over here in the garage, we have obviously the big space downstairs. Don't know what we're going to do there. And then up here, we have a little attic space that we could use. I don't know exactly what we're going to do up here, but it's usable, so we'll figure that out. So I don't know if I love the actual flooring that I've got in here. That's just kind of what I've put in the house. I do like it being like a hardwood floor, but I'm wondering if we should change the color to be a bit lighter. Because obviously we've got the lighter color on the outside. I do like the rich tone, which I guess the darker tone is more like the actual house, but I might change that. Kind of like the pink wallpaper. I've gone for a less ornate trim on it though, because that was a bit much. I don't know if I'm super sold on this, but you know, we're figuring things out now. Okay, this is kind of where I'm at now. I've changed the colors around a little bit because the green couches and then I had like a pink wall wasn't really, I didn't really like that. But I think a nice bookcase over in the corner. I've just got a little table. I do want this to feel like an older home in terms of furnishing as well. Not like super old, maybe there's parts that are updated here and there, but a little bit more, I guess, maybe 2000s, 90s at a stretch, not so much, but I guess like early 2000s, mid 2000s kind of vibe. Although having said that, some of these pieces don't really match that, but you know, that kind of thing. And I think what I want to do as well, let's figure out, well, even in the day, it's not very bright in here. We might need some more lighting, but I want to do some curtains in here. Well, actually, because it's not that bright, no matter the time of day, adding curtains is not gonna make a problem. Like it'll be fine. Might even do curtains over the doorway as well. I want them the same height as the windows, which would be there. I think they can still walk through that. It'll probably look a little glitchy, but I kind of want that to all have the curtains. And in fact, the orange and the blue, very complementary. Wait, is that right? Yes. Okay, good. Making sure I wasn't too crazy. Now I put this table behind the couch because I don't want the couch right up against the wall, because then it does give us more room, but it does feel a little bit less, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me. So having a little bit off the wall means that we can have stuff behind there. So we'll do like clutter. Maybe we have like a tea mug behind the couch that someone's using, little flowers. And then maybe, what about a bun? Whoa, that's massive. Not that. What about a cat? Because we've got a whole like Catio area, and a little cat statue as well. Oh, orange. No, we'll do that one. Okay, cute. All right, definitely need something on the wall here. Oh, that kind of feels like it fits perfectly with the vibe. Maybe different colored frames though. Yeah, let's do that. How about this? This is like pretty expensive, right? $1,400, but I like it. Okay, put that there. We need more light in here. Well, first of all, can I get a rug in here? I don't want to go too big because of the fireplace. And the other thing I'm going to want is some side tables. Oh, that's way too big. Maybe put one over here because this is just kind of like a dead space. Like it's just kind of here. I kind of like the look of it though, having the bookcase in the corner. It's like, I don't know, this kind of feels realistic to me to have the room laid out like this, which is weird, but in terms of like an older house, you've just kind of, stuff kind of ends up in here. The layout, this is what it is. I think it kind of works. So I kind of like that. This one though, I don't know about this armchair right here, because basically we've got this walkway here. Actually, you know what would work in here? Piano. Wait, is that the right spot? Oh no, it's a little smushy. Let me just line it up to the wall. I feel like that kind of feels like this would be in this kind of house. It just feels right. Okay, I need some more light. Get another lamp maybe. I guess I could get some more sconces maybe as well. I was gonna put one either side of the fireplace, but then it kind of just highlights that the fireplace is not central to where the windows are. Although I could move the windows, but I've sort of put them on this wall, so they're centered to the wall. But if I move the windows a little bit more, it'd have to be there. Then in the room, the fireplace is centered to that, is that a better idea? Perhaps it is, because then we can sort of get these in. I'm just going to sort of manually adjust them a little bit. Because then we get the sconces in there. This one up a little higher too, sort of matches from this angle. Okay, it definitely feels a lot brighter now. I do kind of like the lamp here. It does feel odd because it's kind of like in the walkway. But again, I kind of like that. It kind of feels like an older house. And in fact, I might even put this in front of the window. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's working. All right, so I've done this rug and coffee table combo, which I think I like. I do want to do, I guess maybe I should do this the other way though. Have the little drawers there. I feel that probably makes more sense. I want to have some sort of side table for this, but it can't be big. That's kind of the problem. What about there's a stool that's actually a chair, but it could be like, in fact, you could even use stuff like this, where it looks like a sort of side table or like this kind of thing, but it's actually just another chair. And I guess it's good because you could then, well, actually maybe the wicker one might be better, kind of like this, because you could then use it as a chair if you want, because that's what it actually is. But we're gonna decorate it like it's not a chair. Like it's gonna be like a little side table thing. I think if I just add a mug, I think that, oh, well, let me position it properly. There we go. Yeah, I think they may still be able to sit on that. They may not be able to. That'll require some testing, but I like the idea, you know? So I think this is our little sitting room. Yeah, that's cute. It feels lived in, feels a little bit like mismatched, but in the way that it's supposed to. So I think that totally works. I'm happy with that. And I think if we go to nighttime, not too dark, and it's not bright at all during the day, which not great, but it is what it is. I think it makes sense with this house. So let's tackle the kitchen area next, because this was the one I was kind of most unsure about just in terms of how I'm gonna use this space. The problem is we've got this pretty clear, almost breakfast nook area, which let me see if I put chairs around this. I feel like that's just too much. We could do something like this, where we just have a table like that, but I don't know if I love that. Could we potentially use that as kitchen space? Man, I wish they would make counters that just work on the diagonal like this, because obviously we can sort of put them together like this and you can kind of make it work, but then this kitchen is massive, so then we'd probably not want it to go all the way around. You probably want it to stop there maybe, but then it's like, what's in that space? Yeah. Well, let's avoid doing something unnecessarily complicated because that just makes things way harder. Honestly, this is a pretty difficult little area of the floor plan. I really like the kitchen being here looking out those windows, so I want to make that work. I might get rid of one of them though, because I'm just kind of ignoring the dining table for now. I'll come back to it, because then we could use this for cabinets. Also, I haven't chosen the colors of anything yet, so ignore that as well. I think I'd pop the fridge in there, although right by the door, which I don't love, but that's okay. Let's just go with it for the moment. Could actually do this one, so it kind of looks like we're using that wall space a bit more, like we're using all that space where the window isn't, which I quite like. In fact, can I use this space here? Move this over. I don't like it being like one random cabinet, but we could do that, which I like. Although I don't like that it's the exact same stuff in both of those, but let's just go with it for now. And what I do like is it actually opens up this little space to put a bin there, though I have put a fully outdoor bin just here because it was near the kitchen and this is technically like outside. So that's why I put a bin there. But I think we could do an internal bin just here if we wanted. So let's just do that. Put that there. Can we get a nice big sink just there? Is there a nice sink that matches this? Yeah, there is. I thought so. Like the big farmhouse sink. Yeah. Yeah, because then you do nice washing up looking out there. I mean, that's awesome. I love that. And then our cooker, I guess we'll go here, our stove. We'll just white at the moment because it is. I don't know why, it just is. Okay, well, I like the general layout of the kitchen, I think, not necessarily the colors and all that. Okay, so now that I've put off the dining area enough, what the heck is going on? What is this space? I mean, it makes sense for it to be a breakfast nook, and that's fine. But then what is this space if not dining? Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, I've gone for a blue kitchen, white like shiplap walls, and then, because that's kind of inspired by the actual house. And then the actual house actually has, I think, a wall here, and then the dining is in this space with a big door there, which we do have. So maybe that'll work. I don't know if it's gonna work as well in Sims, but let's see. Okay, I think this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna have 6 seats, but we have the 2 other chairs here stacked on top of each other. So they're there in the room, but if you need to use them, you can pull them out like this, right? Boom. You got a full table. I didn't want to leave it like that because it does really feel like it's just kind of blocking. So I figured if we do that, that it's kind of fun. It's like it's there. It's a fun little thing. And then there's still a big dining table there with the chandelier. And I'm not sure the wallpaper in here yet. It's just that for now. That's fine. And then back into the kitchen. I still got to figure this out. So I do quite like how this is coming along. All right, well, I added some more decorations to the kitchen instead of figuring out what to do over here. But it's a little bit more full now and a little bit more lively, which I really, really like. I also put the smoke alarm, I put the burglar alarm in, and I put this little sort of cabinet over here with a couple things in it. Little coffee station. I think the kitchen is actually really nice. But what the heck am I doing here? Honestly, I think maybe at this point I do like a little bench seat like this maybe. I think I keep it simple, do like a white. You know what, maybe I could use, yeah, actually this is kind of cool. And then I do a couple of chairs. So it's almost like a little breakfast table. I mean, I think that works. We got a lot of tables now and a lot of seating. There's a lot of seating. We got the little table, got a plant, and I did the little family schedule or like the curfew board. So there's a little bit of functionality there as well if you want, which is quite nice. I think the kitchen, I love it. I'm happy with that. Let's move on. The dining room, I think we just need to do, oh, what happened? That lowered down. I need to fix this, hang on. Lift that back up again. I was gonna say a rug, but I actually think the rug would probably make it worse in here. Oh, maybe not. You know what? Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay, that's too big. It needs to be like exactly the right size, which I guess that would be. All right, so for the dining room, I've just done this, kept it pretty simple. Got the curtains up in here, a little sort of side shelving, a plant over there, and that's kind of it really. So I think that works really well. I think that's kind of cute. It fits in nicely between the kitchen and the living room. And with that, I think we are now done with that section of the house. So I thought maybe next I want to figure out what's happening with the hallways. I kind of just put this living room wallpaper in here at the moment, which I don't know if I love. I also got the little umbrella stand, which I think is a good idea. I also think I want to flip the door to open this way. It makes more sense. In fact, I'll put this outside. This probably makes more sense right here. Little umbrella stand. Cute. All right, so that's there. We have a big hallway area, I think. A console table of some descript, maybe this one. The real house has like so much paneling, or just like shiplap everywhere. Can we do that in here, or is that gonna be too much? It's honestly like this in the real house, which is kind of cool. I mean, I don't hate it. The real house kind of has this everywhere, which actually is kind of fun, but I don't think I want to use that everywhere, but it could potentially work in like the hallways. Maybe this arch can go sort of more of a color that matches that better. Yeah. In fact, I could probably change these ones too. But I might keep this one white because it's sort of going into the kitchen area, so I think that works. What if the floor was more that color, like the darker color? I think this is where we started, was it? Might have been the one I had at the start, but I changed. I do like it. I like the lighter color too, but I think if I'm going to use this walling, I think I need the darker color. So maybe we'll entertain that. We'll entertain it. And then we've got the little sort of mudroom shelving there with the like hats and shoes on it. I'm just going to do like a little picture on the wall here. Almost like a little sort of vanity kind of thing. Just added a couple little decorations. Actually, a little detail I like is these are hydrangeas and they're pink because the idea is that we grabbed them from our own garden. Although these are kind of more purple. Maybe we do more pink ones then. But yeah, the idea is like maybe they grew their own hydrangeas, they cut them off and put them in here. They're kind of a slightly different color, but that's the idea. Yeah, I kind of like it. You kind of get this sort of older vibe in this little entrance, which I kind of like. So what I want to do next is, I guess these stairs, I don't mind them being white, though maybe it would make more sense if they weren't. Yeah, maybe we should just sort of match it in. Have this old wood color through here. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. What am I doing? I feel like there should definitely be something there. Oh, you know what could be cool actually? I was just looking for something to put there. Maybe part of this could be like a rec room. So we could have like we could section it off, have like a workshop area, then also like a games area could be kind of fun. So I'm just gonna put those there for later. Actually, could do this. This is the horse ranch little mudroom thing. And then I believe we should be able to hang clothes on that. Yeah, so we get like some jackets and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Just extra like coats and stuff. I don't know. You could put something else there, but I think that fits quite well. All right, so moving on. Let me just change all this flooring. Let's do the secondary sitting room, which actually, I feel like that should maybe be a proper door rather than an archway, because if this is gonna have like a TV in it, it could be quite loud. So maybe we just change it to a door like this, a little bit offset, just because that's where the table is. I kind of like that. So I think we'll put the TV probably on this wall. I'm just gonna use this for now. It's a little through the wall though, just gonna adjust that. Oh, still is a little through the wall. That's all right, we'll figure it out. Could even potentially do carpet in here, just to mix it up. The original house has so much carpet. It's kind of like a bluey gray color too. Maybe we could do like a blue carpet. It's kind of like it actually. All right, could we do this wall in here? Maybe for some of it. I don't wanna transition into doing this wall everywhere in the house, but I kind of like the idea of having it as part of it. And then maybe the rest, well, not the rest, other parts of the wall could do like a lighter blue, because yeah, that's lighter than that one. Maybe this like sort of wall here. Yeah, maybe like that wall can be the sort of wallpaper, then this sort of inner wall can be that wood. Maybe even this one too, actually. I kind of like it. Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to have this curtain come straight across this rather than on the windows individually. So what we could try and do is if we build the wall, then we grab the curtain. I actually don't know if there's a color I want, maybe the blue one. Let's just say remove the wall. The lighting is a little strange on it, but if we have lighting, it works, okay. If you look close, you can see it's not attached to anything. Actually, you know what we could do? Hang on, I got an idea. What if we put a spandrel there? Because then it's like, oh, not that spandrel, a bigger one. There you go, because now it's like on the spandrel. Okay, I want like a big comfy couch. Like for me, this doesn't look that comfortable because it's got a really low back. Whereas this looks more comfortable than that. Is this the same couch I did in the last house? I feel like it is. Well, the same couch, but like same color. I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? It's just a different. I don't want to make the couches blue. Actually, I did yellow in the other house, didn't I? Maybe we could do that. Just trying to figure out how this is going to work, because if I put them here, I'm losing a lot of space. Maybe I need to put the TV. What if the TV's here? Because I want a lot of space for like activities and like games and stuff as well, like for kids. What if we like compact it down a little bit? So make the space a bit smaller, get this additional chair that could be like, in reality, you'd probably move it when you need to, but it's just there for comfort at the moment. And let's just get some more kids stuff, or like more like family stuff. Ooh, can we get a big dollhouse like in this little section? Maybe not that one. That one's kind of scary. How about the farm one? That's cute. I like this one. Yeah, I like that, just in the window there. Okay, and I've just sort of put all these little toy baskets and stuff like tucked away there. All right, I want to get like, so we got a little play area over here. Got like the toy chest, like the craft table. It looks like there's some sort of storage for books and toys and stuff over there. Then I wanted to get the games table in as well, because I sort of pulled out some board games. I feel like that'd be good to incorporate here somehow. Maybe this chair instead then. All right, well, if I was to use this, I'm gonna slide this over. I think that'll work there. I'm gonna do some like a little educational posters maybe. Got a cat calendar as well, a little bit of fun. I think we need a table behind this couch, kind of like we did in here, except maybe one that's a little bit more, like looks like it has more storage, maybe like this, or maybe that one. I'm gonna put the board games on top of it, just because we need somewhere to put stuff. A hobby board. Actually, this can go over here. Yeah, it's like a little sort of arts and craftsy stuff. I like that. Kind of makes sense with a little games table there. And how about this picture on the wall? It's kind of random, but I wanted to put something there. And we got little coffee tables with some stuff on it as well. That's like the little friendship bracelet crafting thing. So yeah, I think that's our little second sitting room. It's got the TV. Actually, you know what I do want to add? I want to add a games console. It kind of sits in an awkward spot. Oh, that can go behind actually. Hang on. Oh yeah, just do the city living one. We'll have a game console just back there in case you want to play some video games. Makes sense. All right, yeah, that's cool. So I like that. How's it at nighttime? Good, bright enough. Daytime, looking good. Okay, I just threw together the hallway, just put some pictures up around, some like rugs and runners, and a few lights just to finish it off. Now let's move on. I'm gonna do the bathroom, I think, first. And I guess in turn the ensuite, which actually I might add a window to this bathroom because it currently does not have one. Maybe I'll just do like a little window up high. I think that'll be all right. Okay, I kind of like the idea of pink because one of their bathrooms is pink and I kind of like it. So can we do that and make it look like cute? Well, the options for walls and floors that are pink are kind of limited. This is the best I can do. I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna find out. There is a pink toilet though. Not really a pink sink. That's okay. What else? What other pink stuff do we have? Okay, I think I could probably work with this. Let's see. All right. You know what? I think it's working. Okay. Yeah. Look, we got a little candle plant. Got the bath salt. A nice little cabinet there. All on the pink theme. You know, the pink theme is actually kind of working. All right. And then I haven't done a sink yet. Might be better just to do a normal. Okay, that's too big. Just a normal counter and sink because I don't think these are gonna come in pink. All right, that's kind of nice. Got a little bathtub and shower. As in cozy, got the toilet just there. And the little sink area. Got a little toothbrush, a nice plant. Let's change the light though, because we'll make it match the rest of the house. Is this gonna be enough light? No, I might need to just do it. Yeah, I'll just do an overhead spotlight in here. It's too dark otherwise. All right. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I think that worked. Unfortunately, you don't really see the pink that much because you don't really see the walls because it's in the middle of the house, but I think it's nice still. I'll have to play test that though to make sure you can still get into all this. I think you can. All right, I'm gonna do basically the same thing over in this bathroom, but I guess slightly different because it's an ensuite. Okay, it's not as nice because there's less stuff in there, but you know, same sort of vibe. And that's pretty good. So next, we gotta do the 3 bedrooms down here. So this is kind of like almost like a guest room. Like if you have, well, it doesn't have to be, but that's kind of how we're gonna set it up. So if you got people coming over to stay, they're gonna use this room. Kind of an awkward sized room, to be honest. I think I wanna put the bed there. I think that makes sense. Although then it's like, where do you, I guess the dresser has to go here. Oh yeah, that'll work. I just kind of like this bed, so I'm gonna go with it. And I suppose we can use these little tables. They should fit on either side. Don't know if it really matches the, the style, but actually if we do this, that's a bit nicer. I like the blue, but I want to keep the walls more plain because it is like a guest room. I always like it being a little bit more generic. All right, so one of the problems that always annoys me with these sort of, when we make our own bay windows, is that when you put the walls down, the curtains will stay visible. So Over here, I did a little sort of a different setup where the curtain's on this wall instead. It does stay visible, so that is still a problem here, but I quite like how that looks. But if I were to put like, let's just say a curtain that looks like it would fit on there, right? So we put that there, it looks good. And let's just say we have that one in the middle. We put the walls down and then they just stay there because they don't technically fit because it's a diagonal wall. It's a little too big. So what I've done over here is I've had to use a different curtain. So I'm using the Adventure Awaits ones that are like this by themselves, and I've just sort of slid it as far to the edge as it will go. Then I'm using the matching like little curtain rail, and I've sort of put them overlapping, and then that does actually get out of the way when we put the walls down. So it's sort of finely positioned to work. So I think that I'm quite happy with that. I'm gonna need some more light in here. I don't know if a lamp is the way to go, but that's what I'm gonna do. Put a lamp there. Seems weird, but that's where it's going. All right, let's get a dresser. Again, imagining this is a guest room. It doesn't need to be like a huge dresser. That's why I think something like this would be all right. Or this one. Or maybe this one kind of matches the other furniture we've got in the house. So maybe I'll do this one. It's very wooden over there. But again, this is kind of a generic room, so I'm not too worried about that. And I think I might do an armchair, which actually I might grab this same chair. I'm gonna do a different upholstery, I think. Stripes. And then like a little table there. I don't know, so you could sit in here, have a little bit of your own space maybe. I'll just do a sconce there as well for a bit of light. Put a mirror there, because there's not really anywhere else it can go. Okay, do I want to put a rug? Like, I feel like I could put a rug there, but maybe it's better just to leave it. Like, keep it simple. It's a nice little guest room. I just went ahead and did these two bedrooms as well. I did them as like single bedrooms for kids. This one's got a computer in it, which actually is the only computer in the house. I wonder if I should have added one somewhere else. Well, anyway, we've got one in there. So yeah, 2 kids' rooms with like toys and nice little decorations and all that. Little posters around. Yeah, I think they turned out really cute. It's pretty simple, but I thought I'd just get those done. Then moving upstairs, we actually have, well, 2 bedrooms by themselves, their bathroom, and then the main bedroom suite and like ensuite in there. And then I actually did redo this roof section so that this roof area was accessible. I actually, for now, just did it as a pet door because I thought it's kind of fun. It's like a crawl space, right? Like it's an attic space. I don't really want Sims going in there because I don't really want to furnish it. But we might just put like storage and like boxes and junk in there, just so like a little like storage attic space. It could be kind of fun. And then we also have this space up here, but I'm not going to do anything up there. In fact, I'm just going to put the flooring in it so it matches the rest, just so at least it looks like the rest of it. But yeah, we're not going to do anything up there. Okie dokie. So these 2 rooms, I think I kind of want to do like wood paneling. So on that wall there, I might do like a green. I'm keeping these ones kind of simple in terms of colors. Did I use this pink anywhere? I can't remember. Oh no, I thought I used it in this room. I didn't actually. I was gonna use this wallpaper, but then I didn't. So I'm gonna use it in this one. I kind of like all the rooms being different, like they've been added over time and changed and, you know, styled to whoever's in those rooms. In fact, I think I might want to do some carpet up here. Kind of like the blue carpet, even though it doesn't go with the pink, but I like that just being, that's the carpet that's in there. Do we do carpet on the landing as well? I feel like we could. I kind of like that. It kind of gives like the cozy, older vibe because of the blue. Like I probably wouldn't do blue with all these walls normally, but I think it's a bit of fun. So we've got single bedrooms down there. I mean, these could probably be single as well. I always like to, I don't know, what do you guys do when it comes to beds? I always do different beds in rooms because, I don't know, I guess variety, but then also because if you use the same bed, there's only so many sheets you can use. But I also feel like, at least growing up in our house, we all had different beds because we just got whatever bed there was at the time, you know? You know, I'm gonna put a desk here, which seems maybe odd, but I kind of like the idea that this is like the family computer space because it's the only space that we have, even though the house is literally massive and there's so much space. But you know, this is just where it ended up because a family is pretty big, you know, so there's not room everywhere. So I kind of like this idea. Like I do think it's a bit random, but that's kind of the charm of it, you know? Maybe just like some storage boxes that are there. Someone pulled out, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, just got like a little extra chair there, a little hallway furniture. I'm just really enjoying making this house feel lived in and like things just kind of accumulated over time. Speaking of which, let's maybe get some junk in here. You know what's perfect for this space? Even though it's not a basement. Basement treasures, because it's just got all these like boxes and like mattress stuff. And I did just think of something, is that if this is our only entrance to this space, this doesn't make any sense how it got in here. Or even this bookcase. The chairs are probably okay. Most of the other stuff's probably fine. Maybe I should get rid of the big stuff. I think that'll be fine. There's not that much stuff in there, but you get the idea. All right, I'm gonna do the bathrooms. Probably more or less the same. Maybe they won't be pink as well. I do like the pink bathrooms, but I don't know if we do all 4 of them pink, it might be too much. Can we do like this greeny color? Oh my gosh. That's too much even for me. Okay, I did like a yellow instead. The green was too much. Although we do have a green towel. Keep a little bit of the theme, but yeah, I think that's nice. Gets everything in there that we need. Blue? No. Okay, and then the main bathroom is just in here. We've got double sinks. We've got a nice bath. Look at this beautiful bath shelf. Maybe a little bit inspired by our real life bathroom, just with the shelf and the stuff on it. But yeah, that's that. And then I guess, I mean, this really ideally would be like a wardrobe. I wonder if I could do that. Although I can't really move this. Oh, I guess I can move the door over this way. If I move the door that way, we actually could probably get stuff on that wall. Yeah, because this isn't very like thick. So we could do like that. Is that annoying? They're pretty big, but like it does fit. But do we want to do maybe like one tall one and a couple of like the lower section just so it's not as in the way? Though I don't know if these have the right colors. I guess white maybe? No, because I kind of want more like just a wood tone. Although the green is nice. Although I used that recently too. Yeah, in the firehouse build I did. Not that that's a problem to reuse stuff, but it's just interesting. The black is kind of cool. I don't know if it makes the most sense, but maybe we'll go with it. Okay, it's hard to see, but we have like these little hat and coat rack just there. So that's kind of like your walk-through robe. And I think maybe if we put like a tall mirror there, that'd make sense. Just like that. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess let's go on to the main bedroom then while we're here, and then we'll do those other 2. Like, I guess I started those, but I didn't do anything in them. All right, what bed are we gonna do in here? I feel like it should be a pretty nice one. I wish we had more like high energy beds by default, because like, there's a few, but there's like not many. Like as soon as you get to here, we're down to energy 6. Like, yeah, you can upgrade them in gameplay and all that, but it'd be nice to just have the beds already be nice. Or if there was an easy way to just do it in build mode. Maybe we just do like the super expensive bed. It's just kind of ugly. With all the colors is the problem. I do feel like this bed really fits the house. Yeah. Okay, this is where I'm at now. We've got this sort of, I feel like this bed definitely suits. And I've done sort of a combination of sheer curtains and then this sort of frilly one that we've got downstairs as well. It meant that I could do the sheers on the bay window. Same problem with the bay window curtains. I did the same thing I did in the other room where those curtains will disappear when the walls are down, so that's good. Then I was thinking we just do a nice little couch in the corner here. Well, in the bay window area. We got blue carpet and green. I don't know. I know it's all kind of weird, but I kind of like it. Like, I feel like the blue carpet is working. I don't know about the green couch and all that, but you know, we're playing around here. Oh my gosh, I can do a green table as well. Well, the other thing I could do is make the bed blue. Maybe that works better. I do like that though. But the other, because I don't really want to change the carpet because we got the same carpet throughout the house. So I don't really want a specifically different carpet. Maybe like this main bedroom just, they sort of matched this a bit more. It's kind of cute. Let's get some like nice lighting in here because at the moment I'm just using spotlights. I don't know if I'd call that nice lighting, but that's what I've put on there. Is there one that fits better? Oh, maybe like more like this. Might get rid of one of them and then have a wall sconce up there just so it's sort of even across the room. I guess the question now is what else is in this room because it is pretty big. I mean, another actually, you know what we should do? Because I keep not doing this in my other builds. The vanities. That's what we can do. Yeah, okay. Now what else do we do? There's still a lot of extra space in here. Okay, just did like a little sort of extra dressing area, even though we've got like the walk-in robe. I don't know what else to do in here, but I think that works. It's nice, it's simple, but it's got everything you need. Also did a little sort of bench seating there too. Yeah, I think that's the main bedroom and bathroom. And I guess I'm just gonna quickly do these 2 rooms. All right, so we've got the 2 rooms here. This one's got like a TV, guitar, a little desk area, and just some decorations up on the wall. And then this one as well has also got a desk area, but no TV, just a dresser and like a little bookcase area. So pretty simple, but it gives you a good starting point if you want to then change it and make it your own. So with that, I think our whole house area is now furnished, which is sweet. We just got to do the garage, which wouldn't be, I don't think it's going to be too much. Because we'll do like a little activity space and we'll do like a workshop as well. And then just a little bit more landscaping and like some outdoor furniture here, like barbecue and stuff. But as far as landscaping goes, we did most of it already. We'll probably just do some more bushes and stuff. And then this space is basically like, I'll probably pop down like a tree house or something. But let's go over here. Let's see how this is going to work. So I think I want to divide the space. So first of all, I'm just going to get these temporary lights in. So I guess the question is, do we want to divide the space? Well, probably not down the middle because it doesn't actually divide in the middle. So, because this is not, it's an uneven width. So we could just cut off the back, which I think probably makes the most sense. Why is it deleting the door when I do this in game? So if we cut off the back there, and then we turn this into like a rumpus room area. And I would like to, I think maybe if we make that look like it's a wall that we just slapped up ourselves. And then can we do a fence here? Because all the roofs are separate, which is good. Then if I remove that, it's open to the floor below. Don't we have there's like a wooden beam, right? We have, what pack did that come in? Is that just a ceiling decoration? Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, I want this. Because I think you see this even with walls down, which I guess could be annoying in some cases, but kind of like the idea of, although it's not, it's not tall enough. I need to move it up a bit. But yeah, I want to have wooden beams going across here, so it's like supporting the roof. So I'm going to drag it across here. Well, not drag it across, place it across here. I don't know. We'll see if this is annoying. Because the thing is, it's always going to be visible when you're playing. But I think it's okay, because I think it would still be a pretty open space. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Tool Mod. I'm going to select every single one of these, and we're going to raise them up just a tiny bit so that it sort of actually hits the roof there. Let's see if that's enough. Because I've just moved them all up a little bit. Yeah, it's not exactly touching, but I think it's close enough that it now visually looks a little bit more structural. And then what I would like to do, what if we have the columns here on the sides? Because I can't put it, like, if I put it underneath where that wall is, it's right where a garage door would be, which by the way, I should probably get this on the other side too, just for visual so we can see that there is a door there. But if we put them on the side like that, more like that texture, then they're sort of off to the side. It lines up with this wall here, I think is kind of cool. Do I do more beams? I think more beams is going to be annoying. So I was going to say, it would be good to have like beams coming across as well, but I think it'll just be annoying. Now to get up here, which by the way, I think we'll do this same decked flooring up here, which I think I might actually run the other way. I just think maybe it makes a bit more sense here. We'll do a ladder, just there. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I don't know what we're going to put up here, but there is a way to get up there. All right, then back in here, I think we'll just use like this door, but yeah, we'll give it like that texture. Maybe the other way around. And then that just goes into this area, which is going to be like the rumpus room. And then this is the workshop. Oh, can't really see it. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay, so like workshop stuff, we're going to do, I mean, you can do a whole bunch of stuff in here, but mostly the woodworking. Oh, we could do candle making as well, actually. That's cool. Let's get that out. Could do juice fizzing. I don't want to do too much stuff in here that looks a little silly. We'll get this wood crafting table, get rid of the juice. I don't think I want the juice fizzing. I think the candle making looks pretty good. Maybe painting as well would be nice. Oh, we could do like a gym area. That's kind of a good idea. I'm going to do this candle station. Where do I want to put this? I think I'll do like gym equipment over this side. And then this side will be like the workshop area, which the restoration workshop is going to be pretty key for making this work. Oh, you know what we should do is up here. We do like the storage, we get like storage shelves up here and we just put tubs and tubs and tubs up here. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, a bunch of tubs up there. Actually, a bathroom out here would be a pretty good idea. I was just saying, because there's a sink in this kit. Maybe we can shove a bathroom around the back. Because if you are out here, it's going to be super annoying to have to go to the toilets all the way over here. So you know what? Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. I'm going to basically hang lights up these beams. We're going to get these like workshop lights like that. And get rid of those. It's super bright in here, which is good. And also, if you're working out, it'd probably be good to have a somewhere to shower. All right, there's no treadmill in here, but we got weights, the weights machine, and a punching bag. So you're gonna get swole, not necessarily fit. All right, back in here now. I think we could do a little bathroom here. This is gonna be very small. It's really basic. It's, it's a garage bathroom. There's a toilet, that sort of utility sink, and then just a shower with no screen or anything. Just so it's there if you need it. And I would recommend, if you're not going to have your Sims over there, maybe locking the door, because I can see a Sim just wandering all the way over there to use it. Speaking of having Sims wander over here, I want to do like a little kitchenette, but I'm not going to use kitchen counters, because if you use kitchen counters, they're going to walk over here and try to use it. Just realized how low that window is too, by the way. Oh, I see. I lined it up with the door. Okay. I'm going to erase it. I suppose the other problem actually is They'll probably wander over here to use this fridge as well. So probably not ideal. So we've got the TV there. I don't know if the couch is a little close, but trying to fit in the full like ping pong table and the foosball. It's actually it's kind of awkward. Like I could squish this right back, but it feels like you should have room either side of it. So I'm leaving a little bit of extra space. Oh, I can get like a neon sign in here. These are actually kind of annoying because I think they break in live mode. So that could be annoying. Might have to remove that. Oh, we'll get this for like keeping score. Looks more like a calendar, but I'm going to pretend it's scores. There are actually ones that look like scoreboards in here. You know what? Let's get a fire extinguisher in the workshop. You know, safety first. I mean, that's probably fine. I was going to do more decorations, but I don't think we need to overload it. Keep it simple. All right, that's kind of fun. Yeah, I like that. I think I like how that turned out. It's actually a useful space. It's not just random junk. You can come here and do some woodworking, some candle making, working out, just relaxing and storing junk up there. Okay, so last bit of actual furnishing we need to do is this outside space here. I think I want to do like a barbecue area. All right, I still want to do it kind of built in. So what I'm going to do, we're going to have the barbecue area here. Well, that one's pretty close. Annoyingly, it's like so close that it looks like it should match. So it's probably better to actually have it completely different so it doesn't look like it should match. And then I still want to do a half wall here because I think, oh, okay, I see. Hang on. We do a smaller one because it has to go on top of the foundation. It's kind of weird. I don't know if this is going to work or look silly. Because this is on top of the foundation. This is technically the ground here. Oh, I might be able to do this. And then there's a matching wall to that. And that's actually not too bad. It's nowhere near the back of the wall though. So I might need to move that back. Is that worth doing? I mean, it adds a little, doesn't it? It looks a little bit more special. Can we build like some sort of structure above the table? Basically like the catio. And then we could potentially do like flowers growing up it. We go about there and go up a little bit. And it's a little bit wider than the column, but you get the idea. And then we do, and then we could also, you know, actually maybe this would have been better just using wisteria because it's a little thinner. I don't know if I'll do it on the back. We'll just do it on this sort of side. I do still like those other flowers we got there. And maybe have it come across here. Get a different one. A little bit of greenery on the top. I think that's nice. And then because if you're playing down here, then it will be like that. So it doesn't get in your way. Yeah, that's nice. Then we have these little wall lights, which I think would actually look pretty nice hanging off these columns. Yeah, that's nice. I also added a few lights around pathways and in the driveway area as well, just to give it sort of a little bit more ambiance. And in fact, we should probably do some lights in the little catio as well. Let's do these little outdoor lights. I think they're cute. Can we, how big is the hot tub? Like, can we get a hot tub here? Oh, we can. Yeah. And that's fun, just a hot tub. Sure, why not? Okay. And then I think we need some lovely benches, but how and what kind of benches do we want to do? I want like comfy benches or comfy outdoor seating, but it also doesn't look super out of place. It's kind of hard to find what I actually want, but maybe these love struck ones. I know this is kind of the opposite of like super comfy looking, but I think these are actually really nice. Especially we have them like around the garden. Like I think here would be a good spot for one. Can sit and watch the butterflies. Maybe have one in the veggie garden. It's kind of cute. We need them over by the pool, which is actually like a pond. Actually, speaking of which, maybe we should have... No, I wouldn't do recliners. Recliners kind of make it feel more like a pool, but I just kind of want to... Like, it's supposed to feel like a pond, not a pool. So just gonna make this look a little bit more dry, just so it's not like solid green. Give it a bit more color, like a bit more variation, because it's very green at the moment, which is lovely, but I think it's a little too green. So just dry it out a little bit, not too much, but yeah, I think that helps. And then we just want to do some bushes and trees. And I think I want to get the tree house out as well. I don't think a lot of the ground is actually flat on this lot because I did a lot of terrain editing. So I'm not actually sure where this can fit. I do feel like it should just go out over here. So let's just flatten some of this ground. Well, I honestly don't think I want to do too much more out here. It's supposed to be pretty simple. Like, I mean, it's not simple though. The house is it's pretty decorated, but we got a lot of like sort of landscaping and garden there. And then the back was more just for if you want to add more stuff. Like there's just a bunch of space to add whatever you want. Yeah, I might add some of these trees as well. Just there. Just put some trees and stuff around so it doesn't feel completely barren at least. And then, yeah, now there's plenty of room left over to add a bunch of other stuff. Like there's this whole little area over here that I made, which I just need to do a little bit of terrain painting for that bench, I reckon. Yeah, that you could, you know, put some activities or something over here. I think maybe a swing set would be good outside somewhere. We've got so much space, may as well. Maybe in here. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's flat, so it's floating. That's one thing you'll have to do is if you do add stuff to the garden, make sure you flatten it down. Otherwise, some things may not place if you don't have move objects on, or they'll be floating. if you do. All right, let's just go around and do a little bit of terrain painting, and then I think we're done. Just so you know, a little bit of darker colors under where trees are and plants, so it feels like they're actually part of the ground and not just plonked on top of it. Okay, I think with that completes the lot, which is, I think it turned out great. I'm super stoked by this. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. We'll have a quick little overview. I don't think we'll go through everything in detail once again, but this is how the entrance turned out, which I think comparing to the original inspiration, I'm pretty pleased with. I think this looks great. I love our little Catio. I think this is so cute. It's such a fun idea to actually add this under the build. I guess actually one thing I didn't do is pet bowls. I'm gonna do them in here. Well, I'll just do one. But anyway, there's a pet bowl. Yeah, I think that turned out great. And I love the little screen in the enclosed porch area. And then let's just have a quick look through the house. We got the first living space that we did. A little entrance foyer in here that goes through to the dining area, into the kitchen. I don't know why all the windows keep glitching out everywhere in the entire build. It's super annoying, but anyway. Kitchen and a little sort of breakfast nook area. Got the scheduler. I think this looks so cool. I think this turned out great. And then we have like this sort of more family living space with the TV and all the games and the dollhouse, an activity table in there. Nice pink bathroom. I had a lot of fun with that. I got the guest bedroom just over here. Another little bathroom, and then a couple of single bedrooms just on this side of the house. And then before we go upstairs, of course, we have the garage, the workshop, and like the sort of recreational space. I think that's really fun. And then a bunch of junk up in the attic. Oh, I also put a basketball hoop on the front of the garage, just so there's also that to play around with. It also kind of hides the fact that these two things are different heights. Though now that I've pointed that out, it may be annoying, but anyway, that helps. And then going upstairs, we got this carpet all throughout the space. I actually really love this landing area, just with all this stuff crammed in there. And we have like a crawl space, which cats could get into, and I think toddlers can get in through pet doors too. So I guess toddlers could get in here if they want. It's just filled with junk. And then, yeah, got a couple more single bedrooms up here. Sort of more pushing towards teen on those two that I did. And I did kind of like children downstairs. Like, I mean, you could obviously do whatever you want, but that's kind of where we went. Couple of bathrooms over there with the ensuite on that one. Sort of walk through robe area. And then the main bedroom. And of course, the garden space with the barbecue, outdoor dining, the hot tub, the pool as well, which is supposed to be like a pond, which is why I didn't do like a pool ladder, because I felt that wouldn't really make sense if we're trying to go for a pond look. But yeah, there you go. Oh, and of course our little veggie garden, which I think is really cute. A little bee box in the middle. And there is also a flower arranging table in here so that you can also do that as well. So we've got the flower arranging, candle making, a whole bunch of stuff. Well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much to my top level members for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to download this, it is linked in the description down below, as well as the link to check out more from Disney Dreamlight Valley. So thanks again, Gameloft, for sponsoring this video. But let me know what you think of this build, if you're going to use it, or if you're going to do a renovation, or if this inspires you to do a build based off a real house as well. I think using real houses as the starting point for a build can make it a lot easier to actually get going and start building. So maybe you want to give it a go. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and have an awesome day.